All right, y'all, come on in, come on in, come on in here, y'all. We got some good stuff to cover today. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, kicking it with your girl. Y'all, the one big beautiful bill has now made it to the Senate, y'all. Check this out, though. Midterms are coming up really, really soon. They'll be here quicker than what we know it. Y'all, we can no longer afford to blind vote. No, we can't do that. We can't afford to do that. It's as simple as paying attention, watching these people that we put in place the first time go round, and seeing if these things actually line up to your beliefs. Imagine growing up in a household and your parents, they tell you to vote blue no matter what, just vote blue, anything blue, but don't give you no breakdown or nothing like that. I was blind voting for a while until I finally woke up. Now I can walk in there and be in and out. But now, baby, by me just watching and paying attention and knowing my beliefs and what I stand for, I go in there proudly now, knowing who, what, when, where, why I am voting for this person. And you can no longer sit here and say that your vote don't count, because it does. It really does count. What am I voting for? I've heard that plenty of times. It don't count. Yes, it does. And it does matter. Just take the time to research, follow these people, and I promise you, it'll make a whole lot of more sense when you go in there and you vote. Midterms will be here before you know it, y'all. Now is the time to actually really be paying attention, so you'll know what to do when that time comes. Now, we finna get straight into the video, y'all. Just imagine some people hating one man that they are willing to bankrupt the American people because they against this one man and because he is behind this whole suggestion of the bill. Just imagine this. Well, it happened this week. Some Republicans and Democrats, Republicans and now they're the rhinos, voted against this bill. But it made it through. So now we waiting on the Senate, y'all. And I had to research. I was like, okay, so how long can these things really take? You know what I'm saying? To go ahead and get this bill passed so we can go ahead and get it in law. And it could take some time, y'all. We got what? 53 something Republicans, 40 something Democrats on here. Negotiations have to happen. Reading has to take place. You know what I'm saying? I hope that they can agree to disagree, to agree, to come with a conclusion for we the people, the American people. If it take y'all having to change something here, change there, whatever it got, I hope that they can come to an agreement and a conclusion for us, y'all. It could take some time. It can't happen overnight. Hell, it probably could happen overnight, but we know that it's not going to happen like that because we already know what type of time the Democrats is on. They already said they finna be fighting, and not in a good way. So with that being said, y'all, I just want y'all, like I said, midterms are coming up. I want y'all to see the faces of the Republicans who are now rhinos who actually voted against the one big beautiful bill. Check them out. Remember their faces, y'all. Remember these faces when midterm come. Remember this. Okay? I'm here to let y'all remember. See who got your back and who don't. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. What lines up with your belief? All right, y'all. So we finna dive into the first video coming from Brylan Hollyhan. Okay. This morning, every single Democrat just voted against the largest middle class tax cut in history because they hate the orange man so much. With that being said, y'all, let's go ahead and dive into the video. Let's go.
What's up, America? This morning, every single Democrat just voted against the largest middle-class tax cuts in American history. They voted no on no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. They voted no on bigger paychecks for working families. They voted no to the child tax credits. They voted no to small business relief. They voted no to slashing the death tax. And yes, they even voted no to boosting take-home pay by over $12,000 a year for families.
Wow.
Why? Because they'd rather fund IRS agents to come after you and foreign wars to send my generation to the front lines of than help American workers every single day. Remember this when you go to the ballot box next November in the midterms. Today, Democrats
Let's
have the
go.
chance to stand united in a bipartisan effort to pass this one big, beautiful bill. But because they hate the orange man so much, they chose not to. It's sad, but thankfully House Republicans held the line and protected American workers.
Facts. Shout out to y'all.
What's up, America?
I mean,
this morning,
come on. Come on, man. Betraying the American people. Donors or win. Like, this is just crazy. Boy, you find out how your real ones is. You find out who the real ones are. I'm trying to tell you. We're going to keep the same moving, y'all. Tim, you gutted $1 trillion from Medicaid and SNAP, screwing over hardworking Americans. Thanks to the liberal thieves looting our pockets, you've unleashed this mess. Now face the fury of Trump's America. Let's dive into it. Let's go.
Hey, everybody. Tim Burchett. Hey, Byron Donald, say hey. Corey, say hey. Hey, what's up, baby? Luna, say hey. Hey, everybody. Tim Burchett. Big, beautiful bill passed. Largest tax cuts in American history. They'll unleash our energy by expediting permit and eliminating wasteful green new energy regulations. Largest investment in border security. Eliminates waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicaid. Big deal. That's a huge deal. Puts a work requirement in there. And it's the largest mandatory spending cuts in history. $1.6 trillion. A lot more in there. We'll get to it later. But no sleep. Hey, Bobert, say hey to everybody.
Hey, y'all.
Anyway, it's just I'm a little tired right now. Wasn't everything I wanted. We held out, and we got the work requirements on Medicaid, which was a good thing. I'd like to see a lot more cuts. We're reducing the rate of growth, which is still not good. We need to stop the rate of growth. But hopefully with the new relief from over-regulation, the economy will bust wide open, which I think it will. Thank y'all for sending me here. I'm going home. It is, I don't know, 7 o'clock in the morning, but it's just not so early. I usually get up at 4:30, but when you don't go to sleep, it just wears me out.
Yeah.
But I volunteered for it. I'm not complaining. Thank y'all for sending me here.
Well, thank you for standing up for the American people. Y'all, it'd be tiring. Democrats saying no in spite of Trump. That ain't how you go. And that's how we got to get out our feelings when it's time to go in and vote, too. We can't vote our feelings, man. Y'all know feelings don't last long. You upset for that one and then you on to another feeling. We can't go in here blind voting and voting off just feelings. For real. Y'all see how hard these folks working in here? And it's going to be hard. It's about to be a fight. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, we got to, come on. Come on. Let's keep it going. His policy stopped dangerous gender mutilation surgeries on minors, protecting our kids. Trump also prioritized citizens by removing ineligible illegal immigrants from benefits, strengthening the system for those who truly need it. With the leadership, Medicaid will be efficient, fair, and focused on American families first. Okay? Let's dive into the video, y'all.
I have to make a confession.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were right and I was wrong. You guys kept telling me that Trump was making cuts to Medicaid. And I kept screaming on a mountaintop, he's not making cuts. He's not making cuts. But guess what? I was wrong. You were right. Here are the cuts that Donald Trump is making to Medicaid.
Medicaid will no longer be used to pay for barbaric gender mutilation procedures on minor children. And the 1.4 million illegal aliens who are currently improperly receiving Medicaid benefits will be kicked off the program to preserve it for hardworking American citizens who need it. President Trump and Republicans are protecting Medicaid benefits for pregnant women, children, disabled individuals, low-income seniors and families, and the most vulnerable Americans in our society.
It's just not the cuts y'all was screaming on a mountaintop. Of course, he's
Facts.
cutting those surgeries, as I agree. Of course, he's making cuts to Medicaid so those migrants won't be getting all hard-working benefits and all the
Sorry
rest
for
of
ya.
the cuts. You see, your party, them liberals, they were trying to make it seem like he was going to cut you off of Medicaid. No, he was cutting waste, fraud, and abuse. There you have it. You were right, but it's not the cut you thought it was. Another win for America, another win for DJT. I love my country.
Same. All right, y'all. So there you have it. They was gutting, talking about Trump was gutting programs and stuff like that. Whole time it's their reckless spending that has been collapsing the system. Come on now. Yeah, to be more careful, y'all. We finna keep this thing moving. I told y'all we had a lot of great stuff to cover. Y'all, I say it every time. If it ain't Nancy Pelosi that pop up, it's AOC. If it ain't AOC, it's Omar. If it ain't Omar, it's Jasmine Crockett. Like, they just be tagging each other in on when to just talk ish outside of the neck. And it is crazy. So with that being said, y'all, we finna dive into the next video coming straight from I on Patriot on X. ALC's lies are observed that even CNN is fact checking her. I don't trust now one CNN or AOC. So all of them away together, if you ask me. With that being said, y'all, let's go ahead and dive into the video. Let's go. This is how they lie. This is how they lie. Now we just seen what old girl said. All right. We've been paying attention. Look how they lie.
13.7 million Americans will be cut off from their health care and
Not Americans, though. Illegals. Okay?
made completely uninsurable by the bill that Republicans are presenting today.
What are the facts?
So this 13.7 million number, this 14 million number involves some sleight of hand kind of fun with numbers from the Democrats. Again, we're talking about estimates, need to be cautious, but that number is not about this bill itself.
13.7.
Right. Facts. So this is what they do. They sit up here like this and spread the lies, but when they're caught off camera and the camera's rolling, they don't be having nothing to say. Because they full of ish. They full of ish. They full of ish. Trump's policies is to stop abuse. Whether it's gender surgeries or illegals just milking the Medicaid. Research on your own. Don't take my word for it. Do it yourself. Before you jump and listen to the fake news, do some fact checking. It's that simple. Let's keep it moving, y'all. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going on this thing. All right, so this lady breaks down the myths and lies about Medicaid being cut in the big, beautiful bill. This is what I'm about to research it and everybody giving their points and stuff like that. You can also look it up. Look it up, y'all. It's that easy. All right, let's get into it.
On today's episode of Curated Lies and Propagandic
Yeah,
Myths,
fact.
I bring you Medicaid as it relates to the big myth number one. Millions of Americans are going to lose access to their medical coverage immediately.
Hearing it all the
The only
time.
ones that will be losing access to their coverage immediately are ones that aren't even Americans and that are here illegally. If you are using your coverage for gender-affirming care, such as medication or procedures, you will lose access to that care, but you will not lose access to coverage. If you are using your healthcare for schmishmortions, you will lose access to taxpayer-funded schmishmortions, but you won't lose access to full healthcare coverage. Not providing services is a far cry from not providing. So we're myth number two. Millions of mothers and those with disabilities will lose access to their coverage due to the new work requirement. So there is in fact a new work requirement that they're trying to implement, which requires you to work 80 hours a month, 20 hours a part-time. And furthermore, it doesn't even have to be employment. What fits the bill for the work requirement is work job, community service, going to school, learning a job, learning a trade. There are a multitude of paths that you can take that will satisfy this 80-hour requirement. Of the almost 80 million Americans that receive Medicaid, it's 44% of them already time. Good. 20% of them are employed part-time. They're also good. There's 10% that receive it because they are disabled or have an illness that prevents them from working. So they get to apply for an exemption. 12% are primary caregivers, like single moms. They also get to apply for an exemption requirement. And the 7% that don't have a job because they're students are still okay because they are training for a job and receiving higher education.
Come on and break it down for these folks.
For the 80-hour work requirement. Myth number 3.
Come on.
All the new red tape will make millions of Americans miss out on their coverage. The red tape that they're discussing is the additional rule of 80 hours a month to work requirement, as well as checking your eligibility for Medicaid benefits twice a year instead of one time a year, which is all automated and done online anyways. So instead of having to prove that you're eligible every 12 months, you now have to do it every 6 months. And if DOJ taught us anything, it's the fact that we need to have checks and balances in our social welfare programs so that dead people aren't getting services or those ineligible aren't hindering the services paid for. So all in all, it's easy to fearmonger people thinking one thing is true when you look out
when you don't know either
context of why decisions are. Thank you.
Thank you, and I approve of this message. Liberty dot Valk YRI, y'all, like for real. Despite what the Democrats are saying, y'all, they're cutting fraud, not care. Let's keep this thing moving. Let's go. Medicaid will no longer be used to pay for barbaric gender mutilation procedures on minor children. I'm all for this. Because they leaving out the long run of how it affects the kids for going in and trying to change something on the body that was naturally meant to be there. You know it. They leave that part out though. They not showing y'all the long run and how these affect these kids later on in life. Nobody's showing y'all that. They just say, oh, it's okay. They're choosing this. The parents are choosing this for their children. But nobody is talking or showing what literally actually happens after a natural body goes through a huge change like that. Research. Find what happens to children who actually go through the process in the long run terms, bad terms that happen with that. You'll be surprised. I'm all for this. Let's get into it. Let's go.
Medicaid will no longer be used to pay for barbaric gender mutilation procedures on minor children. And the 1.4 million illegal aliens who are currently improperly receiving Medicaid benefits will be kicked off the program to preserve it for hardworking American citizens who need it.
Okay.
Medicaid will no longer be used to pay for
Okay. It's about protecting our children and not putting these agendas that they've been pushing on our children. Because if we can't protect our children in this country, then who can? Who can? Midterms is coming up, y'all. It is very, very, very important. And I'm going to keep stressing this, that y'all get out and vote because your voice matters and your vote. That you no longer go in there just checking blue because somebody's telling you to check blue or check red just because somebody's telling you to check red. Know when you go in there who, what, when, and why you are voting for these people. We cannot afford to move backwards. You got to think too. You are setting up for your kids. Because long before, truth be told, y'all, we not finna be here forever. We see what's taking place and what's going on now. We see who these people are really fighting for and their beliefs and what they believe in. Whether you voting blue or red, if it lines up with your beliefs, so be it. Just don't go in there blind voting. And that's it. So with that being said, y'all, we finna get into my boy Ace. I'm telling you now, y'all, no filter. He has no filter. He tells it like it is, how it is. And that's just how he do. So with that being said, y'all, those are my final thoughts. Let me know what y'all thoughts are in the comments section. Like I said, I did my research. This could take more than a day, more than a month, more than 2 months. However, I'm really hoping they can agree to disagree to agree and come to the conclusion for we the people. Okay? Let's dive into the last video, y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let's go.
Could one of you dumbass Democrats please ask me what the fuck we get for our vote now? Please ask me that dumbass shit. When do the motherfucking dictating start? Because the only people that voted no against your motherfucking ass, because tax on tips and tax on overtime don't sound like shit for no fucking billionaire, bitch. It sounds like some shit for you, and the fucking Democrats voted against your motherfucking ass yet a fucking again, you stupid pussy bitches. I know them hormone pills got you super sensitive, so I'ma fucking calm down.
Calm down.
All I gotta do is just state the facts. You could get in the comments to try to misquote the facts all you fucking want, bitch. But ask me what we got. Now I tell you, stupid ass. Look, we got a lot of shit today. Man, today we got no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. That'll help you at your Burger King job, bitch. So when we pull up a Jack in the Box, you can finally have a fucking smile on your face because you're getting that overtime, ho. You heard me? I'm talking about all that shit today. Bitch, we got, the Trump savings account for the newborn babies. Oh, you don't like that either? God damn. You's a hateful motherfucker.
Evil.